By the end of this video, you will know for sure if you should be using your name as your business name. Naming your business is something that I see hold a lot of new businesses back, or businesses that have grown rapidly and need to change. You guys want to get the perfect name, you want the name that resonates with your audience, that you feel good about, and I totally get that. But you can't let your name keep you from starting. I'm Kristen with Kristen Alyssa Creative Studio. This channel is for small business owners looking to improve their brand strategy and marketing to bring in raving fans and amazing customers. So you're done procrastinating. You are naming your business today. The thing I get asked all the time as a brand strategist and graphic designer is if I should use my name for my business. There is no one size fits all for this. So what we're going to do today is walk through 4 questions you should be asking yourself. I'll list some pros and cons for each of these answers you might have, and just, grab a piece of paper, write them down, kind of journal about it, really give yourself some time to think through these outcomes that we have here. The first question to ask yourself is your name unique? If it is unique, the pro there is that no one else will be using your name. That makes searchability pretty nice. No one will confuse you with someone else. The negative side of that is if your name is unique, people might have a hard time finding you. If your spelling of your name is different than what most people would typically type in, they might have a hard time pulling up your website, your social media accounts, things like that. If your name is not unique, on the flip side, there's also a chance that somebody might already be using your name. My name is Kristen Williams, and it's not very unique, so I chose to use my middle name in a lot of my social handles. So it's Kristen Alyssa instead of just Kristen Williams. Number 2, is your name always going to be your name? This we see a lot more with women, of course, but if you are currently unmarried and you maybe get married in the future, do you want your business to be tied to your old maiden name? Some people do, because that keeps that maiden name alive, which is really great. But some people don't, because that's no longer what you feel your name is. On the flip side, if you're currently married, say, and you use your married name, and then you get a divorce in the future or something else happens, would you feel like you need to rebrand to your maiden name or a new married name? Nobody can plan for these things, of course, so it's not something I would say to harp on, but it is something to kind of keep in mind if you're thinking through using your full name. Again, for example, my name is common, so I probably wouldn't have used Kristen Williams anyway, but I chose to use Kristen Alyssa in this case, and that can work just as well sometimes too. Very similarly, if I was to get married and I lost my middle name, it's a great way to keep my middle name alive. So just some things to consider there. Number 3, do you want your business tied to you personally? I know this one may seem strange to ask because, of course, you're like, it's my business. Of course, I want it tied to me personally. But a few things to keep in mind here. A lot of people might not want that. Some people don't like their face and name to be the forefront of their business, which is totally fine. If you're more introverted or you don't plan on showing your face quite as much, you might not need your business to have your name attached to it. Another thing to consider is, what if your business, makes the news in a negative way? We've heard of things like this happening, and while there are things in place to protect you, your name is your name. And if that is dragged through the mud for whatever reason, someone Googling your name will find that. So not, again, that you can plan for your business getting in trouble, but if you want that extra layer of protection or of distance from your business, it could be an idea to not use your name in that case. However, on the flip side, it's your brand. If you're connected to it personally, it really does show through in your brand messaging, in your brand visuals, and the content you create for your brand. And that can be a really powerful marketing tool to allow you to connect to your audience. There's good and bad with every option here, guys. So it's definitely going to be, again, personal preference as you're thinking through these questions. I think this last one's actually really fun. So number 4, do you have dreams of selling your business one day? I know that might seem like a far-off dream of becoming a rightful paper company where you're just on as a creative director or as the artist and the business is being run by someone else. That might be a bad example. I don't actually know if she's not in charge of her company. She might be. But you know, there's a lot of things out there where people sell their businesses. They cash in. Sometimes they stay on as a creative partner, as a creative director. Sometimes they, you know, move on to start new businesses. It's the entrepreneurial, like, way a lot of times. So if you're sitting there really being honest with yourself, dreaming of what this business could look like for you, not just next year, not just in 5 years, but in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years, where do you see yourself with this business? Do you see yourself potentially one day building this business into its own brand and selling it to someone else? If so, I would really caution against using your name. Because, again, your name is always going to be attached to you, even if you're no longer in charge of that company. If I sold Kristen Alyssa Creative Studio one day and they kept my name, and what if they run it into the ground? What if they turn out trash? Then my name is still connected to it. A bad example, because it's not, like, it's probably more likely to happen with, like, products and things like that. But just something to really consider if you do have dreams of kind of being someone who builds, who creates, builds, makes them blossom, and then goes and starts another business continuously like that. With those 4 things in mind, I definitely would encourage you to pause during the video, to journal about it, to really think through what your customers want, what you want to see in the future for your brand and in the future for yourself. And hopefully you've gotten some clarity through those questions that we just talked through. Now, personally, I've used my name in businesses like this one, Kristen Alyssa Creative Studio, because I'm the one doing the work, doing the creating, kind of like front and center in this brand. But I've also created a brand, Crescent Crown Designs, where I am not the face of it. Yes, I show up in videos. Yes, I show up with my designs. I'm still the one creating it. But my name is not front and center. It's Crescent Crown Designs. It's all about personal preference and your dreams. Oh, and you need to make sure that the name is available. You can't go around using someone's name that already exists, if they already have an LLC for it, if they already have a trademark for it, if they've already taken all the social media handles. There are some ways around that, of course. Some brands exist on Instagram, but they don't have, like, the LLC for it. They haven't posted since 2015. Things like that can kind of, like, be worked around, but you definitely want to make sure that there's no confusing you with other brands. I want to leave you with just one more thing. You can change your name in the future. This is not the one and only time you get to pick the name for your business. People and businesses rebrand all the time. If you outgrow your brand name, if you outgrow your brand in general, you can always change it. Don't let this name be what stops you from creating your small business. Working with a brand strategist like myself is a great way to ensure that if you do rebrand, that your customers are excited and not confused, and they're brought along with you on the journey. It's also not just about the visuals. If you in the future want to keep your brand name but kind of shift who your clientele are or what you're focused on, you can also rebrand visually and through brand messaging. Don't ever feel like you're being held captive by your branding or your name. The hardest part is starting, but I know you can do it. What I want you to do right now, yes, right now, after going through the 4 questions we talked through, is just take out a new piece of paper or your iPhone app, notes app, whatever, and just brain dump all the names you can think of. Don't worry right now about if they're taken or not. Don't worry right now if it's like your name or not. Just dump them all out there, get it all out, start getting the ideas there. And then I would say pick maybe your top 3, your favorite 3 that you see on that list, and go searching and see if it already exists. I would say that's the first step right there. Whether it's your name or a name you created, you always want to go take that extra step to see if it's taken, unfortunately. So we've reached the end of the video. Have you stopped procrastinating and picked a name? If you have, I'm excited for you. That's the first step for your small business. That's really exciting. Your brand is so much more than a name, but it does start with your name. So you've done it, you've picked out a name, maybe it's your name, maybe it's not, it's okay. You just gotta commit. You gotta commit. That's what you gotta do. Once you have a name and you're really excited about your brand, I'd love to get a chance to work with you. If you're interested in either rebranding or starting your brand from the ground up in a really strong way, then I'd love to work with you. Kristen Alyssa Creative Studio does brand strategy and graphic design, where we can help with your brand logo, your visuals, some merchandise, some customer gifts, some client gifts. There's so much we can do with a brand. It's not just the visuals, it's the strategy behind it, which is what makes working with me different, is that we really do hone in on the strategy. And then the marketing. As a marketing girly myself, you gotta meet the people where they are with marketing. Finally, what does set me apart from other brand strategists besides the marketing is that I am an illustrator as well. So if you love the illustrated look on brand logos, or for your packaging design, or for stickers you want to create, or t-shirts you want to sell, I am your girl. So reach out to me, KristenAlyssaCreative.com. Check me out, fill out the questionnaire, we can work together. If we don't work together, that's okay. I'm still going to be here every week giving you brand strategy and marketing tips, because I want to see a world with more female small businesses. I want to see you guys succeed. I want to see you guys leave your corporate jobs and run these businesses like the badass women that you are. So anything that I can do to help, please let me know. I'm always looking for more ideas on ways to help you guys. And yeah, just drop a comment below, and yeah. So thanks for joining me today, guys. I will see you next week with more tips and tricks for your brand strategy and marketing.